Is the flooding in the Midwest? Mike Pence is going there to offer thoughts and prayers. Is it an act of God, or is it an act of Koch Industries and Exxon Mobil? Leave your comments and be sure to subscribe to our channel, please. The things that I think is truly extraordinary is this bomb cyclone. Nebraska was particularly bad, heavily hard hit. 3 out of 4 of the people who have died from this bomb cyclone storm that hit the Midwest, which is a function of climate change, the warming of the Arctic, doing away, destroying the Arctic ice, which reflects sunlight and heat back into outer space, replacing it with dark water, which absorbs sunlight and heat, thus warming the Arctic 2 to 6 times faster, depending on where you are in the Arctic, than where we are, than the latitudes that we all live at, these kind of mid-latitudes. And the consequence of that is that the jet stream is falling apart, and that these air masses, they call them the polar vortex is breaking into pieces, and these air masses are coming down and drooling down over, Siberia, over parts of Europe, but principally over North America right now, at least North America to the east of the Rocky Mountains. And because the atmosphere has 6% more moisture in it right now, than it did just 50 years ago as a consequence of global warming, we're getting massively more rain. This, by the way, is the new normal. This is not some weird thing. This is absolutely now the norm. And if you, in fact, this morning in the Missouri River, they were showing some, before and after of the flooding pictures on the Missouri River on TV, and if you looked at the before pictures, you could tell where the floodplain was, right? Because you could see that where the vegetation was, and where basically where the floodplain was, and you can see that there was lots and lots of construction on that floodplain. And then the after picture, of course, the floodplain is now flooded. Now, it might not have been flooded for the last 400 years or 600 or 800 years. It's an unusual event, but 500-year floods, 100-year floods, 1,000-year floods are now becoming. 1,000-year floods are becoming 10-year floods. 500-year floods are becoming 3-year floods. 100-year floods are becoming every other year. It's in parts of the United States. And this is, very simple. This is not rocket science. I mean, there's this article by Laura Riley in the Washington Post. The headline is, "Maybe it's a sign from God." She's quoting one of the farmers. Midwest floods devastate Nebraska farmers. No, it's not a sign from God. It's science. It's a sign from via weather that we have been polluting our atmosphere for the last 200 years in ways that the atmosphere can't deal with. And it's not like it's fighting back at us. It's just got a new state. In fact, it's in transition from an old equilibrium to a new equilibrium. And if it ever reaches that new equilibrium, it has been at that state 6 times in the history of the planet, we will be gone. It's not God that is coming after us. It's Exxon Mobil, BP, Shell, Koch Industries, you name it. You name the fossil fuel company, the mining companies, the refining companies. That's who's coming after us. That is who is responsible for the devastation of Nebraska and the rest of the Midwest. That's who's responsible for Pick your problem. You look around the world, there's just this absolute devastation that is happening right now in Bangladesh, in central and northern India. Myanmar right now is having flooding. I mean, they're all over the world as we speak. People are dealing with emergencies that have to do with weather, out of control weather. And meanwhile, the Trump administration and the entire Republican Party, the wholly owned captives, the wholly owned suck-ups to the fossil fuel billionaires and their buddies, continue to say, oh, there's no such thing as global warming. In fact, Trump is proposing in his budget, the Republicans are proposing in this budget that was published, the 2020 budget for the United States, Trump and the GOP and Mike Pence, they're proposing to gut the National Science Foundation. No more science investigations into what's going on in the Arctic. No more science investigations into what's going on in the Antarctic. and let's forget about doing any kind of scientific investigation into what's happening to our weather. That's the position of the Trump administration right now, to protect the profits of the fossil fuel billionaires who keep Republican candidates in office. I saw a guy from one of these front groups, I think it was Freedom Works, it might have been another one, on TV this morning. I wanted to throw up. You know, it was on one of the MSNBC shows that's being run by basically a right-winger. It's just astonishing to me that the real cause here. I mean, here you have the Washington Post with the headline wondering out loud, is this God? And I didn't see anywhere in this article or in any of the others. I mean, Mike Pence is going, right? He's going to go and he's going to pray with them. This is the guy who in 2000 said tobacco doesn't cause cancer. This is the guy who will reliably shill for whatever industry fronts him, whatever industry pays his bills. And make no mistake about it, no bones about it. It's the fossil fuel industry that put Republicans in power, and the billionaires, you know, being created by the fossil fuel industry.